everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. It's Lily Torrance coming to you live today on this beautiful Sunday. Today I actually want to talk a little bit about myself and also about some things you guys can do to help yourself succeed. So I want to talk today about what I call living vivid, vision driven. It's a little bit of a tongue twister. So Winston Churchill famously said, success consists of going from failure to failure without loss of enthusiasm. And that is a very tall order. So my question to you is, do you have a vision? Can you visualize your end game to the goals that you have set for yourself? Do you have goals? And do you have a vision of where those goals will take you? And do you know what you're working towards? So we talk about our why. In entrepreneurship and network marketing, which I'm also in, we talk about why we want something, what we're working towards. And a why is like a big, juicy reason why you're taking risks in your life. So if it's not crystal clear, you won't make it. You won't make it from failure to failure without loss of enthusiasm if you don't have a big why. So thank you guys so much for joining. Mylene, Felix, Michael, I saw some of you guys jumping on. Thank you so much. Shoot me a comment if you're on. So I want to share a little bit about myself today, which I don't think I usually do as much, but I've had some experiences lately that I've been thinking about that I wanted to jump on and share. So every morning I at least try, I don't always succeed on a day-to-day basis, but I try to write affirmations. I often also say them in my car. But I write an affirmation often. I have a goal of earning $2.5 million per year. And my why for this goal has been a little bit vague. And I didn't quite realize it, or I did and I didn't quite want to admit it to myself. So some of my reasons, some of the affirmations I had for this goal were, I travel whenever and wherever I want because my business and finances provide that freedom. So I have some others for that, but that was one of my main big, vivid visions for creating this income for myself. I recently went on a trip. It was a little bit of a rough trip, and I came back and I started writing my affirmations again, and I realized that I couldn't even write that one. And I realized that it was maybe not even really my vision. It was the vision I thought I was supposed to have, because that's what people say, like, oh, I'm going to retire and I'm going to travel the world and I'm going to see all these things. And I don't know that that's me. Like, I do want to travel, but coming back from this trip, I realized that's not, like, traveling and seeing the world is not my main vision that is going to drive me from success or from failure to failure without loss of enthusiasm. And to be able to go from failure to failure is, you have to be able to withstand a huge amount of pain and suffering and discomfort. And you better have a vivid vision if you're going to be able to do that. So I started to meditate on the idea of, okay, what is me? What's my vision? Because I see people saying, oh, I want my dream house. And you hear of people manifesting the very house that they put on their vision board. Or, I want to manifest travel. I want to manifest this and that and the other thing. So I started to meditate on it, and I realized what I really wanted was a house on what they call the Strand in Southern California, which means that the house is the very last thing on the ocean besides a walking path. So I started to do some research because I realized that the universe likes when you place very specific orders. Like, you don't go up to a counter and say, give me a sandwich. You tell them exactly what kind of sandwich you want and what you want on it. So I found my house. It's at 2985 Oceanfront Walk, number B. You guys can look it up, but you can't manifest it because I'm going to. So good luck with that. But the point being that I have a vivid vision that is going to take me from failure to failure without loss of enthusiasm. And that's what I really want to point out, is that it really just can't hurt to get that so crystal clear that you have something that is worth working towards no matter how hard it gets. Because if you are not so vivid on what it's going to be like to live in that house, to watch people walking their dogs from your patio, to watch my son run into the ocean while I'm sipping coffee, I may not go to that next step after my 5th or 6th or 7th business fails, because I won't have a crystal clear vision of why. So I actually was talking to a friend last night. I was over at her house for her birthday, and it's just an interesting anecdote that it was just kind of jaw-dropping. And she actually works in a home for juvenile offenders, and she's a therapist. And she was in a therapy session with one of her kids, and the house that they live in has very specific architecture. And she said that the child told her, and he's probably 17 or 18, but he told her that when he was younger, he used to drive past the house all the time with his mom. And he would tell his mom, I want to live there someday. And now he lives there, not knowing that it was a house for juveniles. So manifestation can be a wild thing. People manifest the very house they cut out of a magazine and put on their vision board. Point being, not that you're necessarily going to manifest the house you drive by, but that if you have a vivid vision, it could take you from that failure to failure without loss of enthusiasm until you hit that goal. So I wanted to share with you guys some questions you can ask yourselves that could help you go from failure to failure without loss of enthusiasm. Some questions you can ask yourselves that will help you get that vivid vision and that big why. So the first question is, what is your goal? So for me, that goal is to earn $2.5 million a year. The second question is, why is this so important to you? So get really specific. How do you see this changing your life, affecting your family, helping you get to where you want to be long term? So helping me get to that house on the beach. And then if you don't achieve your goal, what pain will you experience? So for me, it's not just the pain of not living on the beach. I mean, that's kind of the, just a side effect of earning the money. But the pain that I'll experience is not transforming the lives of other people. It's not loving myself the way I'm capable of loving myself if I reach my potential. It's not loving others the way I'm capable of loving others. So not giving and receiving the maximum amount of love I'm capable of in my lifetime. It's not just about the house. So really dig deep when you ask, what pain will you experience and what cost will you pay in your life by not achieving this goal? And then look ahead 5 years in the future. If you don't achieve this goal, where will you be and what will you have given up? All because you didn't follow through and take action on what was important. So those are the questions that hopefully can help you get a little bit more crystal clear on your why and why your goal is important. And then think about and meditate on some of the things that you would love to do with the income, or some things that you would love to do in that relationship that you want to manifest, or whatever it is that you're looking to create in your life. So that's the message I wanted to share today. I hope that was valuable. I will also put a link in the comments to a free PDF for creating lasting change in your life that you guys can click on and download as well. So thank you so much for joining me. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Josette. It's so good to see you guys on here, and I will see you all soon.